Well, there's one joy of aging. Here we go. There's one joy of aging that most people would rather.
Showing me?
Well, I don't know. I did not suggest that, Deborah.
All right,
there is
kidding.
one joy of aging that most people would rather avoid, and that's gray hair.
There is an old superstition saying if you pluck one out, more will grow in their place.
I've done that. Sonia Azad verifies if that's really the case.
Most of us start seeing dustings of gray in our 30s, and while some can rock that salt and pepper,
I'm gonna wash that gray right out of my hair.
the rest of us are desperately clinging to our color, sometimes, ouch, by plucking them away. But if you pluck one gray hair, will more appear? In order to verify, we combed through research from the University of Delhi, India, and chatted with dermatologist Sohyun Pak from Baylor Scott & White.
Plucking one gray hair does not have any impact on the surrounding hairs because each individual hair strand has its own set of genetics.
Genetics are a funny thing. When you're born, the color of each strand of hair is predetermined. So is the timeline for when it all turns gray. A study from the University of Delhi lays it out. When hair turns gray, that strand of hair isn't producing as much melanin, which are those pigment-producing cells at the base of each follicle. Okay, so you can't do anything about when you start to go gray, but what about getting rid of just a few? To pluck or not to pluck?
Over time, the more plucking you do, the more trauma is caused to the base of the follicle and may eventually at some point lead to permanent damage, which can lead to a bald spot in that area.
So now we're gray and bald? No thank you. Back to our verified question. If you pluck one gray hair, will more appear?
That's absolutely false.
No? Great news! And while plucking in general is not recommended, Dr. Pak says it is okay to do away with unwanted gray hairs by cutting the hair close to its base, dyeing it, or just embracing that sexy silver fox feel.
Does she know him?
Silver Fox. I recognize somebody in some of that B-roll.
Jeff Anastasio.
Jeff Anastasio used to work here in our
And
digital
his hair
team.
was all dark when he was here. He went to Dallas, and look what happened.
I don't know what happened, yeah.